Okay, all right. Father Julius, thank you for being here with me today. If you wouldn't mind just starting
Okay.
by letting me know how you first became involved with Mother Teresa and her work and what your experience within the organization has looked like so far.
Okay. Thank you also for giving me this opportunity to share with you whatever I had that experience with Mother Teresa, and also the experience of being how I'm working with her and being with her so close to her. The first time I met Mother, it was 1979 when Mother the Nobel Peace Prize, the government of India and this West Bengal state organized a very great felicitation to Mother. That was the first time I saw her. Then after that, many times I'm very often meeting her and working with her, traveling with her, speaking. And the first impression which I had, it is a very kind of such a strong impact on me by her spiritual um, kind of a very profound spiritual strength for me, and by her way of the work and by her conviction and her determination, her discipline, and such a generous, um, outgoing, and forgetting herself totally to people, but also especially her own sisters, with whom she was living, and also the poor. So for me, it was the first thing that was something very a close connection with her is a kind of strong inspiration example for me to um, how she uh, discovered the meaning, the value, the beauty, goodness of life that offered for others and service of love, but also a kind of her great, cheerful, deep concern for others.
Yes.
Um, so, yeah,
Um, and
yeah,
then,
please go ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Um, how does sort of the mission of Mother Teresa and the philosophy that you experienced firsthand when you knew her and her way of going about things, way of interacting with the world, has any of that kind of stuck with you more throughout your life? Like what, aspects of her philosophy do you sort of continue to live out now?
Yeah. For me, it's by seeing that her work experience, her person as a committed uh, life to God, to the people. It's, for me, it's very became slowly very clear the philosophy of life. What is the meaning of life and beauty, the joy of living in the service of others and giving herself to others. And she herself said, uh, if life is not lived for others, it's not worth living. And so her, one can say the humanitarian direction, the way how she was looking, first of all, the physical, material, personal kind of way how to reach out and of offering or in present to the person what immediate need. It's like food, water, shelter, or concern, care, charity, love, and but all those things are. I see there is a deep, very clear um, a philosophy that's formed by a relationship. It's a communion with the people. Whether whatever we do, we can say this is always creates a deep, a personal, a love relationship. That is what it's called. It's a philosophy of communion, of love to the service and personal concern and care, availability, and all this something very, I would say, kind of counter culture of mother's service and mission, life and love today in the century. So it's a communion, it's a relationship that always becomes so visible and so clear through her the material spiritual service.
Yeah, lovely. And then you became involved with the MC Fathers, is that right?
Yes.
So sort of why did you initially choose, what sort of initial calling did you feel to join that, that particular organization rather than any other, branch of priesthood?
Okay. Mother Missionaries of Charity Fathers began as 1984 with a mother and father, Joseph Langford, and so I was with the brothers, Missionary Charity Brothers, before joining the fathers. No, I was there with them about 9.5 years. So what attracted me is the way they live their life, and then there are such a closeness to the people, the poor, and the simplicity of life. And for me, always somehow is a desire to offer life in the service of others. And so I found this congregation was so radical life and mission. So that was 1978 to 79. No, so then so through that life I was really was in love with that kind of life, um, to give, to commit to myself, my life to the poor, to the, and the very simple joyful living, the kind of gospel living that I found that was so real. So I joined the brothers first, and so then I had that desire always that to become a priest, as a Catholic priest, and so to both is the spiritual service and to share the priesthood of Christ. And that time there was no missionary charity fathers, and but my desire was always there. And then it was about 9 years, 9.5 years. Then it was a time that I had to make a decision whether to continue with the brothers or to look for the path to that lead me to the to priesthood. And so I was that was time. It was very difficult to make that choice because I was in love with this mission of charity, Mother Teresa's life and mission, close into the poor, simple life. And so, but then I heard it was 1984. I heard that the mother began a branch for the priest. So that I heard it was 86 actually, but that was a response to my own seeking, my own prayer to find a way to. And so immediately I heard that the mother began in New York, this branch. So I was in Colombia at that time, the mission with the brothers. So I immediately I wrote to the Superior General of the brothers, but was not much supported. No, didn't get permission. But again, I did. Then finally, I wrote to mother. That was the first time I wrote to mother. So she immediately replied, saying that you pray and ask again permission. She said, I am praying for you. And then I wrote again, third time. Then they gave me permission for a short time just to go and see and come back. That was, I was in Bogota, Colombia. And then the fathers already began in New York, South Bronx. So I wrote to the fathers, and everything's arranged. I left the brothers to. I was in formation, helping the brothers novitiate. So I handed over to the brothers, and I went to New York, and that's it. So I joined there. So for me, it was a kind of not something different, or but this is a life and mission, but a material works of mercy, but also the spiritual, as is a priestly service to the poorest of the poor. So what attracted me to the how to respond to the people's need, body and soul. So it's kind of material, spiritual works of mercy, but also the sacramental ministry of the of the priest, which mother had that desire to complete the work, material and spiritual. So that was for me, it was very confirming. I was in that call, so I was so happy to join. And then I went to New York, Bronx, and joined the fathers, and I stayed till the end. So that was life was for me. It was like a spark. All the time, it's like a light for me to hear examples.
Perfect. And so, since you experienced both the MC brothers and the fathers, sort of if people don't know much about how the organizations work together, um, can you kind of explain how the MC fathers have a separate but connected role with the sisters and the brothers, and how all of those branches kind of have to work together but have their own places?
Yeah, it is. We take mother as a founders, as a MC family. We have 5 branches. Then a large family because the lay missionaries of charity. Then the Corpus Christi. But these are 5 branches. Mother began as a MC, the internal family, interior, the closeness. For me, they're the same charism. We have the same mission, same purpose, and so we are canonically separate. We are independent, and with our constitution, super general, and our own way of life. But something there is a common that unites us all together as a one family is the charism. Our fourth vow, uh, priestly ministry, and others. We are both, first of all, consecrated as a religious. Then we have priesthood, brothers, sisters, all work areas where still necessary. But there is something that unites us, one as a same. It's the mission and the charism, spirituality, and way of life and the purpose, mission to the poorest of the poor. And so there is something different, supposed to canonically we are different, but there is something more common that we share. As a mother says, we to complement the mission spiritually and also materially united. So we are one. So that in that sense, we have our own co-founder, Joseph Langford, and then but we are the mother as a as a founders of the society, missionary charity.
Okay, perfect. And you obviously became involved with the father specifically pretty early in their creation, when it was still fairly new. Um, can you kind of speak to how you've seen that organization change throughout your time there in the past decades that you've been serving? Kind of any big changes that you've seen, how it's developed at all?
Um, yeah, it was this missionary charity fathers, the branch. They began 1984 October 13 that time. And so then I knew it already, but I joined after 86. Then um, so in the beginning, there was a laying foundation. Mother often used to come to the fathers to giving instruction or helping us together. And for Joseph had a very clear idea, but to put together in as a slow growth. So we follow the history with very it is slowly it moved into clarity, and so few things, a basic thing that we put together, like our where we come from and what are we doing, where are we going. It's the purpose of our existence as a fathers, and then the way we live our priestly life and as a priest, and then what are the common things that we share, the fourth vow. And so there is a development in the history as it grew, and we had so many came and so many left also. But we had a very sometimes it's hard way, but but always moving forward and with so much help with the mother and sisters. brothers, and so we learn from them. But the idea is how to be united in that same purpose, same mission, same charism. And so we there was a lot of development there. I mean, going deeper in a sense, not something is adding, but it is to go deeper into the charism. You know. And then how we are. I look at three things. Like first of all, we are religious, so we take vows like others do, sisters and brothers. Then for vows, then we are missionaries. They ask brothers and sisters. We all get sent with that missionary aspect, missionary purpose, going out for the vow. And third is we are a priest, the priesthood, which others they do not have. So that way, something is a special uh, gift that we can offer us for the service to the society, but also to the poorest, to the poor for the church. So that way, there's a lot of development, a lot of growth into deeper um, unity and union in the charism.
Okay, and so you've mentioned serving kind of all over the world. You mentioned being in Colombia, in New York. You were just in Kenya recently, I think. So obviously, the work that you do is very global. Um, and so kind of how do you see that worldwide role for Mother Teresa's mission, which started very locally but obviously grew to be entirely global? And sort of how do you, as the MC Fathers, kind of carry this legacy that she has to different places where her memory is held differently than, say, it is at home in India?
Yeah, um, we are international congregation, and mother, especially from the beginning, immediately our fourth vow, our call itself is to go out in search of souls, poorest of the poor, and so wherever sisters are, they also call or take a priest with them. It's important things to have a Jesus there to in the Eucharist. And so we have the two ways. One is uh, the physical, material, immediate need where we can serve. We need, and secondly, our presence, whether priestly or sisters, brothers, or the presence, our life as a witness to the gospel, witness to the love, the closeness to the poor, our service, our generosity, our being present is something that to bring people together. And so wherever we are invited, wherever the real need, mother always, wherever that great need, she immediately she go there, and then to, and so we somehow to unite in this priestly, spiritual and material and consecrated life together. And so wherever we are, even at present, wherever the sisters are, we are few, but we are there. So to complete that work. And secondly, our priestly service, priestly gift we can offer is evangelization. Um, the people, and which church is asking today, especially to re-evangelize, to evangelization also the same, our witness, our priestly life, our presence, but also our ministry, and our own the communion of love within the society. And so that is many places. Mother always be already an example that when the world is divided, or people, the tribes, or the cultures, all kind of things, that so somehow to show it's possible, we can live together, we can unite, and it is not so much the work that we do, but our presence that united in love, and there is a common gift as a human beings together. And so that is the first thing that now mother always to show the possibility and example to the world. So like so as a worldwide, our mission is also like the church asking us. The church is as since Vatican II Council, something new came out, to open the door, to reach out and to bring people. The church has to be a sign of the communion and invitation. And so mother already began that before the council took place. The council came from 59 to 60, 63, so 47 already. So that fourth vow is a special gift or special the charism to the church. I would say it's kind of Mother Teresa's charism is a kind of way that we're preparing the council, the way how to, and so we can see the outcome of the council, Second Vatican Council, and Mother's charism. Somehow it's almost the same to open the door to reach out to the world and to give all that like such a great ministry of communion, unity and communion, and that's what mother's ministry mission without without any looking the creed or culture or people color or anybody. So that is this kind of global international mission of love.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned about Mother Teresa's mission being essentially unifying and bridging differences, bringing people together across cultures and faiths and nations. Do you think that that's something that you felt has gotten more difficult in recent sort of times due to the kind of divisions that are faced everywhere? Have you felt a difference in that?
Yeah, difference if you look at the world now in our own country, or you can see the war, the fighting, the violence, or within, without, and so something that, as I already mentioned, this mother's charism is this counterculture. It's a kind of communion that his mother is respond to the present situation and how the family or youth or in the political situation or anywhere can, or social structures, all those things. A mother is available always to find a solution. So for me, this century, it is something special. So if you look at not only as a religious sense, but also in political, so the social structures, the kind of system can find solution if you look at the century mother's life and mission for her. It is important things is to such a respect and reverence and love for the life of the person. We look at in the country or the continent or the world today, anything is not much less value, meaning beauty or the life of the person or the power and or any other kind of things. So, but mother is always going through what is the fundamental, what is basically important, the beauty, goodness, or holiness of life. And so unborn children or those who are handicapped or those who are so poor or rejected, for her that is her first concern. And so that is what you can find a meaning, how to be united, how to reconcile, how to become together by discovering what is the fundamental, what is the foundational and the basic things for the human person. So for her, that is for such a respect, love, reverence to the human life.
Yeah, and then kind of as the Missionaries of Charity, obviously an organization which has continued to be important throughout its history, and kind of I'm wondering how you see the difference between Missionaries of Charity and other organizations, faith-based organizations, or similar sort of service bodies which do similar work. Kind of what makes the Missionaries of Charity so unique, to the point that people still will choose to visit Mother's House over other charities even today, decades after its founding. What makes it have that sort of unique difference?
I see there difference, but I don't see one is better or the other one is less important. Or it's each time, each century, each time God is calling people to the way how to serve, the way how to help and church the world. And so there are congregations still. You can see if you read the founding days, the document of the Mother Heart, that the vision. So Jesus saying that there are so many congregations, but no one there to go out or to the poor, or that was the time. But I think every congregation has its own the charism, gift, and spirituality and mission. But at this time, what is something Jesus asking Mother, something that is to do, something that not done also, especially the people who are far away, rejected, no concern or cares, like it was 12th century, what Jesus asked Saint Francis of Assisi to rebuild my church, to repair my church. And that time is about the faith or the gospel living, but it is the same thing what the Mother was asked by Jesus to repair my church. Church was a repair, a broken divider. So this is the poor is the poor. It was even before the council, Second Vatican Council. Church was always church for the poor, church for the poor. But it came something different. This church of the poor, church of the poor. The poor are the church. So that's the church was broken. So in one way, in one sense, I can say there's some difference because of the particular mission, particular time the sort of congregation started, but it was a particular need at that time. So there's a difference, but also something special this year, this century. So something new. For the vow is new. So like to go out, to reach out, and to find out and to serve something that is beyond having security and safety, and that is not the real meaning of Mother's mission, to trust to the providence of God, guide God, and go out. And so that way there be a lot of difference. And so I don't see any negativity, but it is particular need. Each one is responding to their own uh, way, mission to the church, to the world.
Okay, and you kind of mentioned how Mother's message and mission is still really obviously at the core of the work that you do. How do you think the missionaries of charity and the other branches work to preserve Mother's legacy herself as well as that message? Sort of, is there an active concern or occupation with preserving her memory of herself as well as living out this example? Do you think that's something that is present or is not as emphasized?
Yeah, it is. We are still a mother's generation, mother's children, and our first concern is to, as we know, not just to repeat just exactly what she did, but to keep alive her spirit, and her heart continues beating. The way how we can make mother spirit living alive. Um, so there is as the time goes, there are some differences. The work, certain things that we have to stop, like maybe area where we don't need much now, or something else to start anew. And but the now already, I mean, the after the year times going passing away, but is there is some concern uh, to about forest vocations, for example. Young people are on mother's times so much were so attracted, inspired because of mother, and this, at that time the sisters, and slowly now vocations are very coming down less, and there's certain sisters or brothers or fathers what they're getting older and less vocation, and so where is the spirit comes in? So if you look at the mission, the work that can be done, and maybe we have more workers now than before, because certain things has to be workers has to, or we have to close down, or so looking at the number of the members of the society, and our capability, and also here the manpower, all those things are concerned. But then And the main thing is how to keep, how to replicate her spirit, her heart continually witnessing and city of love and service and basically especially the interior life of our own community. And because we have difficulties in the less members or to keep a community alive. And that mother's time was certain things because of her guidance and her concern, her care and her love. And so in both way, you have to look at one thing how to keep alive her spirit, and another thing how to accept certain differences according to things has happened. But we totally rely on God. So as long as we are committed, we are dedicated, we are really given ourselves with a conviction, and we have a person to follow, we have a guidance to follow, and we have a legacy to keep it alive and to be faithful to that. And so there are differences, but also mm, there is a peaceful way we try the best to continue.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think the kind of last thing I want to mention is so MTI, the Mother Teresa Institute, emphasizes sort of the academic research being done into Mother Teresa. Do you see a place for that kind of the scholarly writing about Mother and her life and her mission and her theology alongside the kind of the more service oriented and um, the care that you give as the fathers?
Yeah, I think that we look at that way as a contribution, as our service to spread the mother's message, mother's spirit, catechism. That because the catechism of mother, her spirituality is applicable for every every kind of people, family, young people, children, old, all areas. And so how to help them and that to bring this spirit in their own state of life, the family or the young people. And so that could be a extra of a gift that we can offer, whether it's by word, by deeds, by writing. Even though mother, that was not a real idea in the beginning, because for her that was not her her way, or maybe sisters may not do, or brothers may not do. And so for me, that is also a part of that our service. We can whether to writing. So of course there is a limited, with a simple way, because everything our service should be according to the spirituality way. So there's nothing. I mean, some good thing that we can share, as people can come back to the God to discover their own way how they can serve. And so that would be another special gift that we can offer to the church today. We let people involved, co-workers, we volunteers, we are priests ourselves, also in a way which is possible, like we have parish missions, we share with the young people, or whatever is possible. That is to look at the way where is how we go together. Together means our spirituality, our way, but also what is necessary today to be shared, to be offered to the church. That's also evangelization. So, to, yeah, I would agree. That is the way we can, especially to help others, to bring others to share Mother Spirit, Mother's magnetism, and so to serve the church.
Yeah, I think that's obviously very, very important part of it. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your thoughts today. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving this chance
Thank
to
you.
share. Thank you so much. Thank you.